physical time. And that's why immediately in April last year, April 2020, we started interviewing artists and having conversations with different institutions worldwide to understand their needs if such a virtual platform would become a reality. And from that, we started developing Basita.live and launched it in May 2020 as a test version. And from May till August, we started adjusting the platform as we saw suitable after consultations with artists. So we heard from filmmakers, we heard from performers, theater makers, dancers, what are the features and the elements, the technical elements that would help them take their art and present it worldwide while also being able to have a sustainable, automated income from what they present. Then in August, we officially launched the platform with the first event. It was on 4th of August. And since then, we've hosted almost 25 events so far, ranging from musical events, film screenings, dance performances, theater performances, and talks as well. And we have noted that audiences, of course, they are still not used to paying for creative and cultural content, while they all are fine with paying for mainstream content on platforms such as Netflix or, for example, Spotify or Apple Music or other different platforms that present mainstream content. And still, the culture is new for audiences to start accepting the fact that also artists and cultural institutions, they deserve the same support that the mainstream content receives. Therefore, during this period, we are heavily working on audience awareness and awareness in general, that artists should be equally supported, that the independent artists and the independent scene and creatives who present cultural content in general, no matter what the discipline is, they also deserve the same support that other creatives from the mainstream sector receive. And to do that, we have launched several campaigns and we have launched several info sessions, and we are still planning to do more. So the way Basita.live functions, it's very easy. Basita actually means simple. It's an Arabic word, but also resonates to different languages. And its translation is simple. So the artist or the institution, they go on Basita.live, the platform, and they create an account, a personal account. There are 3 types of accounts. An account as an artist, so a musician, a filmmaker, or even a visual artist, an individual artist can create an account. And there is also the venue or an institution account. So if it's a cultural center, if it's a band or a festival or any type of institution or a venue can create another account. We also have a 3rd type of account for audiences. So also audiences create accounts. And creating an account is very simple and straightforward. They just fill in some information, a quick synopsis, bio, a photo, a profile photo, and social media links, and that's it. Once the artist or the institution, they create their account on Basita.live, then they gain access. They have a username and password from which they can log into the platform and start creating their events. And creating an event on Basita.live is also very simple. They start also filling in the information of the event name, the event type. And on Basita, we have 2 types of events. We have the live events that are happening in real time, and we have the premieres. And the premieres are all the pre-recorded content. And then they fill in the discipline. Is it a concert? Is it a film screening? The genre. They choose their ticket price. So audiences from anywhere in the world, when they log in, they see the currency of the place or the country they are logging in from. And they see also the time zone of the place they are logging in from. And then the artist also adds the synopsis about the performance, the photo. And then if it's a premiere, then they have to upload the content, if it's a film or a filmed concert. And if the content is not ready, the artist can also skip this step and upload the content anytime later, but it has to be within 48 hours before the premiere date. And then the artist submits the event for approval. It goes to us for review. We review the event details, and then we approve it and confirm. Once the event is approved, then it appears publicly on our homepage, and the artist can start promoting the link. People can start buying tickets, and it works really in an automated way. Also, there are several different features that the platform offers. So for example, for films, there is the option of uploading subtitles. Also, for all the events, there is the option of geo-blocking. We understand that some people, sometimes they want to make their content available in some regions or some countries, and some countries not. For simple reasons, like for example, they don't own the distribution rights in certain regions, and they only own it for certain countries. So this feature is also there. There is a feature to make the event with invitation only for a limited number of people. You can make your event available for unlimited ticket purchase, or you can make it only available for a certain number of people if you want to keep it for a small number of audiences. And of course, the content is very secured. We use two types of security. First of all, encryption technology, so the content is encrypted. And second, on our web version, we use watermarking technology. So of course, anyone who accesses the content, who buys a ticket, has to have an audience account on Basita.live. And therefore, when the audience are watching the content, their IP address and email address appear on the screen as a watermark every 5 minutes randomly. So anyone who wants to screen record or try to infringe the content in any way, the content owner will be able to know who this person is. And also the platform offers detailed statistics to the creative users, the artists and the institutions. So whenever an artist creates an event, in their panel, their events panel, they can see statistics such as who are the people who bought the tickets, their demographics, their information, from which country, which nationality. And while creating the platform, we thought that this is very, very necessary during this period when we moved to the online platforms and our audiences are beyond the geographical place or boundaries we are in. We have to understand more from where are our audiences from, so that we can also enhance our outreach and marketing efforts. So the statistics are also downloadable in a PDF format, and we have the advanced statistics that also give the artist the contact details, the email addresses of his audiences. And this is something that is written in our terms and conditions, where the audiences, they approve and allow the platform to share the email addresses with the artist, since they have bought a ticket for his or her event. Our observations so far, after hosting nearly 25 events during the past 9 months, are that we've seen that audiences, they have the tendency to pay for the online content. And this is when the audiences are from the loyal followers or the fans of the artist. People who don't know the artist are less likely to commit to paying for a ticketed online event. But also we noticed that theater, dance, and film are selling more than music. But we haven't hosted a lot of musical events so far. We haven't hosted new performances so far, new musical performances so far. So also we don't have enough data to confirm our analysis. However, from our initial findings, we thought that because music is widely more available online and there are so many music platforms such as Spotify and Anghami and other, that's why audiences have lots of alternatives. However, we are also going to examine again when we have a new production on the platform or a new collaboration, something interesting that is not available on other platforms. But for film and theater and dance, we've noted that people are more interested to pay for such a content, especially people, for example, we hosted lots of events from Egypt. So lots of Egyptians living abroad, they were very keen to watch those independent films or theater performances from their country because they are unable to access this content physically in Egypt. We have noted also that the platform reached, through the platform, artists and institutions reached new target groups. And these new target groups tend to be more on the two broad spectrums of age. So a younger technology generation felt more, were more interested to interact with cultural content online than physical. Also, senior citizens found it more convenient to interact with cultural content online. And of course, the global aspect, people who are not physically in the same location. So, and that's what we have in our plan for Basita.life after the pandemic and beyond this critical time. When people are back to theaters and institutions are operating normally, we think that the virtual option still will remain as an option, as an interesting and crucial option as well for some target groups who are not able to be there in person or physically. So we see the platform offering a big opportunity for artists from all over the world and from the region as well. The platform is currently in English and Arabic, and we are planning to add more languages in the future. And we would like to encourage more artists to register on the platform. It's free. Artists do not pay a subscription fee or a registration fee, and the platform only deducts 25% of total ticket revenue when the artist creates an event and sells ticket. And the platform also includes the events in its newsletter and takes the risk with the artist, whether if the artist sells tickets or doesn't sell enough tickets, the platform only deducts the 25% that is actually the fees of the payment gateway and the streaming service and the servers, etc. So the platform for now is offering lots of opportunities to artists, and that's why we would like to encourage more and more artists to register and create events. Even they can share their old content, their archived content, if they have old performances that have been archived and they want to test how it functions, they can do that. The platform also has an app. And this is because through our statistics, we've seen that more than 95% of the people logging in on our platform, they log in from their mobile phones. So we created an iOS and Android app for an enhanced visitor and audience experience. So please, I encourage you all to register and start creating your events. It's automated, easy, simple, straightforward, and it's free. And if you have any inquiries, please feel free to email me or email our contact email, creativeusers@basita.live. Thank you very much.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Doa Doa 2021, the virtual docu-series. As you've heard from the speaker, now let's get to know the artist. The artist in focus this week is Deo Munyakazi from Kigali, Rwanda. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, my name is Deo Munyakazi, traditional artist, singer and songwriter. Welcome to Doa Doa Virtual Festival. Well, Munyakazi is a Rwandan traditional artist, musician, singer and songwriter, based in Kigali, Rwanda. He plays inanga, is Rwandan traditional musical instrument, which is made of strings and wood with a pentatonic tune. That's my sound. Nimuhuze kwimakaza umuco w'abanyarwanda nk'uko byahozeho, duhuza amarembo tugwiza amararo, dusenga n'Imana dusangire byose, dufumbata imfubyi duterana inkunga, duhana inka duhane n'abageni, nk'uko byahozeho. Isoko dusangiye ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda, ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda. Munyakazi mwene abarirwa mukuru kare wakidende cya mutarataza wazirimo abagabo akagira impakampanga. Ab'inkubito inkotanyi abagabo ingabirane bayimashira ziraguhunga ni ikimenyimenyi uruhanga zubusa na kera nari gihangana. Nangara incuranze marangara incuranze mwiza incuranze mukonyi incuranze cyane mu bwana cyangwa bagiye batera ku ruti rw'abantu bahagurutsa bavuga bakwaya imiseke n'imiseke bagwiza mu itembo, nanjye ncyura inganje ingabandi sanzu nk'irya rusuka mwene tema hagari wo mu gisaka. And that right there, it's sound of Kigali, Rwanda. Welcome to Doa Doa 2021. Well, my musical journey has been a blessing so far, because I got a time to introduce my music, my inanga sound to the universe. I did collaboration with different artists, worldwide artists. I've been traveling in music festivals, workshops, and many different projects. So, and I've released my album, which is named Isoko Dusangiye. So far I'm still working, so I'm feeling grateful for my instrument. Growing up as a child, I used to listen to the sounds, traditional sounds, on the radio, on the cultural shows, but I couldn't think that I would be playing the inanga. As I was interested in Rwandan culture, poetry, fortunately I met the one who plays the inanga, who is named Mushabizi. Is the old maestro we have in Rwanda. So I was really impressed to meet him in person. I asked him to teach me. He said yes. So that's how I started my journey of playing the inanga so far till now. What motivates me doing what I do every day is to bring back the original sound, the sound of Africa, the sound of Rwanda, and keeping alive African music. Wherever you are, this is the sound of Rwanda. Welcome to Doa Doa. umujano mutaruta inyambo ahamatavu n'imitozo nazanye nazivumera ebesabo begana injishi ibyanze ku ruhembe dore abana b'ibisage bitetera batamba n'amararo bahu n'amararo bako mwiriwe kandi muraho iye ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze iwacu mu Rwanda ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze ngwino tugutembereze iwacu mu Rwanda That right there is the sound of Rwanda, the sound of Africa. My spiritual belief is God, and I love to link the religion and humanity. I think it's Doa Doa family. This is what I say, that praising the Lord it works also with a traditional sound. Burya uwaguhaye uramushimira, uwakugabiye ukamwitura, maze nshimire yaduhanze iyo gahangwa amasiteka, niyitugabira tugatunga, yaduhezagira tukeza, yadusiga tugasa neza, niyirinde intambwe gato tudatsikira, shimwa mwami. Urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye, urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye, urakwiriye mwami ukwiriye gushimwa. Mukama okwe bazibwa obonge nalo kumunzambe naga, obonge nalo kumunzambe naga, obonge nalo kumunzambe nangaye. Okwanenera ra okwanene, okwanenera ra okwanene, okwanenera ra okwanene okuzimirwa. Urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye, urakwiriye mwami urakwiriye, urakwiriye mwami ukwiriye gushimwa. Well, my dream is making the world, the universe more better than yesterday through my sounds. I love doing collaborations, been working with different musicians, Juston, Keza Jones, and many more, Cecilia Kairebga. But I really like collaborations because it gives more inspiration, and working together, fusing music together, it's creating something which is really good. And I've been part of Urban Music Rebel. It's a nice project which combined together different producers and electronic DJs and traditional musicians, just to make new sound which never been before. So the one I'm dreaming to work with, to collaborate with, is Richard Bona. He's my favorite. Well, my favorite venue so far is Doa Doa. I've been there. We've been there at festivals. It was really, really good. We had so much fun. Good experiment. And so far, another venue I would like to be is New York. I want to experiment the sounds of New York with the different musicians and Canadian festivals, Memorial, and somewhere else. So I like to travel the world experimenting new sounds. Do I have a new song very soon? Yes, I'm working on. I'm in studio working on my new song, my second track of my second album, which will be released maybe in 2-3 weeks. Wherever you are, you can find my music on digital platforms like Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and you can also buy my album on Bandcamp. You can find all my music and on my YouTube channel. I use Munyakazi Deo. You can follow me also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I use Munyakazi Deo as well. Wherever you are, you can get my music. Bega kwisi we nunzije tujyane nzanye inanga yanjye tuzenguruka Afurika tugendagende iyi si tubabwira amahoro turerebe urukundo iraba indamukanyo maze banyikirize amahoro amani amahoro emilembe amani 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 Here is my next song to you, The Sounds of Rwanda. Nimuze kwimakaza umuco w'Abanyarwanda nk'uko byahozeho duhuza amarembo tugwiza amanaro dusenga n'Imana dusangire byose tuvumbata imfubyi duterana inkunga duhana inka duhanira abageni nk'uko byahozeho isoko dusangiye ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda ni umuco w'abavuka Rwanda abana b'ibisage batoza urukundo abakobwa b'iwacu basusurutsa uruhembe ababyeyi b'i Rwanda barwambarira impumbya abasaza mbakunde bari mu misango nk'uko byahozeho nk'uko byahozeho isoko dusangiye n'umuco w'abavuka Rwanda n'umuco w'abavuka Rwanda n'umuco w'abavuka Rwanda. I wrote this song Isoko Dusangiye just to remind people to be back to the roots, to the basics, to the essence as it was before, and bring back the culture. And that was my story here on Doa Doa as Munyakazi Deo, artist from Rwanda. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time. Peace.
Thank you so much for joining this week's show, Doa Doa 2021. I hope you had some fun and got some inspiration. If you have any comment, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave your comment, or our Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. We'll definitely get back to you. We are very grateful, and until next week, I remain your host, Faizo Kiwewa from Bayimba and the Doa Doa team. Keep it Doa Doa 2021.
In recent years, music has become the most important art form in Iceland, and apart from the classical musicians and singers, we have very many well-known pop musicians like Björk, who the whole world has fallen in love with.
My calling was folk music. I've been a folk artist, and that is what I'm still doing. I started by being an apprentice of the late Dr. Albert Sempeke.
One face, full perspective, finding the beauty and the talent of the people of Uganda. This is XXL Season 4. On the Glass House this week, I happen to have the one and only Mr. Uganda, Richard Kawesa, on the show. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eddie.
And of course, Engineer Pete Nyeko. Pete, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Are you Ugandan, Pete?
I couldn't be more Ugandan.
What makes you Ugandan?
I am part of the beauty, the awesomeness, the fantasticness that is Uganda. Every part of me is Uganda.
Okay. And Richard, are you Ugandan?
Yes, I am.
So what are the values that define you as a Ugandan?
For me, is every time I think as a Ugandan, I think in terms of being just, of being productive and orderly in what I think, say, and do.
The topic of the discussion is a Ugandan on a global stage for economic relevance. And Richard, you have been writing a lot of stories about Uganda, and so is Pete. Are we fit to be on the global stage as a country, as a people?
I am certain that we are very positioned to be relevant. There was a global entrepreneurship institute in Europe that did a study to understand what the most enterprising nation in the whole world. Okay. And Uganda came out to be the most enterprising. I liked the definition of their definition of an entrepreneur, so that they can then qualify their study. And they defined one as a person who who takes a financial risk in hope for a financial return on their investment. And they looked at people who have earned out of that risk at least in 3 months and not more than 2 years. So that was their parameter of defining an entrepreneur.
Wow.
So they go out to the whole world to look for who qualifies there. And it turns out that 26, I think, point something, is what we achieved, meaning out of 100 people, 26 of them in Uganda, they fit perfectly. Now, it's not only the person who has invested and actually works there, but they also earn from the investment.
Yes.
Yes. And you know the next country that came number 2? I think Indonesia or Malaysia.
Yes.
And they were at 16 point something. That's almost
Very
10.
huge difference,
It's a
yes.
huge gap.
Almost 50%.
So then,
Rather 100%.
then do you know the first world country to appear on that list, what number they took and what country it was?
No.
It was Australia. The first world country. First world.
Which was a former prison. They used to send people there. The world it was a prison.
So that country there,
Yes.
that country, Australia, came at number 26 on the list. Now, when you put that study, it's independent, but there's a relationship with another study. We're talking about our relevance on the global stage
Yes.
of economics.
Yes.
If you put another study that was done by Harvard Business School for 10 years, they also carried out a study. Now, the question is, you wonder why Harvard Business School would do an anthropological study. What's the relationship between culture and business is what you should be asking.
Ultimately, if you think of, so business is a word which you can use to mean many things. But if you mean business as in entrepreneurial or economic endeavors, then obviously the culture of a nation, or of a community pays a lot of importance to that.
Yeah, okay.
Take, for example, a country where you've got a culture of people coming together, people communicating and people sharing. That probably has a consequence to how people will do business. A closed-off society will probably have a different one as well. For example, if you compare, let's say, Uganda and let's say, I don't know, Antarctica. You've just got ice, you've got penguins, and you've got, so if you're going to do business in Antarctica, you've got to think, what's the culture there? A few scientists maybe, a few explorers. So it's a different environment. But in a place like Uganda, you've got lots of people, it's a warmer climate, So obviously, culture ends up determining what type of business you would do, how you would do the business, how you'd sell, and how you'd grow, and how you'd make your projections, and so on. Yes.
Okay.
And
Yes.
and that's why I wanted to bring that comparison, because that's one study of entrepreneurship, and then this is another study of culture,
Yes.
which means one study of business and one study of culture, but done by a business school of Harvard.
Yes.
And who turns out to be the most culturally diverse nation in the world?
Uganda.
Uganda. Aha. Now, you tell me where or which university or what course or which lecturer or professor is going to create a course that increases your appetite for risk to make you an entrepreneur. They can teach you economics and stuff and how you run a business, business management, they can, but the appetite for risk. Now, that tells you that if Uganda has such an advantage by 26% and the last person comes at 26 in the first country, that tells you we should be relevant globally because we have an appetite for risk in any market.
So if we are culturally most diverse country in the world and the most entrepreneurial people in the world, then how come we're still broke? Businesses that are set, that runs for 3 months, dies before they cross to the 4th month. Why?
The reason is simple. There's what we call an enabling environment for any organism.
To function.
Yes, a seed is perfect, it's brilliant. It has the raw ingredient to bring you a harvest. But put it in a sandy pit and don't give it water and sunlight and then blame it for being broke, for not producing. Can you? So Uganda having these endowments